So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Monday evening connection. and what we want to share is a few ideas, obviously for this week, and obviously thank you for hosting us, Danny, and and before we even dive deeper into this week, I want to remind all of us that this is like a few days after the what we call the holiday of Chanukah. And in Chanukah, if we connected correctly, like according to the Kabbalists, so you are not the same person. If and you did the connection in Chanukah, if you did the work in Chanukah with lighting of the candles and doing all the work that was meant to be done, uh, technically you are not the same person. And if you behave, because what happened in Chanukah, you connected to the supernal gate, meaning you elevate what we call Binah, which is the most highest level that one can achieve through, being inserted into this time, what we call the Chanukah time. But then, right after Chanukah, if I go back to my old self, so all the changes that what took place, all the spiritual revelation that took place, you kind of like dumping it, or it stays in suspense and cannot be utilized or activated. That's why, if there in Chanukah has to be after Chanukah, the month of Capricorn. We know the month of Capricorn. Capricorn are more practical. They tell them to work hard. They work as hard as possible, right? Because the work starting. That's the idea, right? And for sure, if you want to establish something in your life or something that you connected in Chanukah, let's say you said, I'm going to be the light no matter what, I'm going to be sharing, whatever the decision that you make, now is the time to keep working the same way in this month. And then you catch it. It's like you catch the wind, or you catch the vacuum that sucks you up, takes you up. That is the first thought in this week, because we're just finishing Chanukah, right? And therefore, if you finish Chanukah right away, the energy is waiting to be utilized, and that is our consciousness needs to be. The next is important to know the problem that spiritual people have. What is the I don't like to use the word problem, but difficulty or challenge that spiritual people have, or the difficulty with spiritual work. What is it? I find out that a lot of people coming to do spiritual work or coming to study something spiritual. Think about it. They come to study something spiritual. I'm not teaching something physical. I'm not sharing something of how to create a cup, right? How to create a spiritual vessel. So a lot of people coming to study how to create a spiritual vessel for the sake of receiving physical results. That's a problem. What do you mean, Benjamin? I came to study spirituality so I improve my life, so I have more money, so I have better, better relationships, I have better people. No, because that's the big secret. The secret is, if I come to do spiritual work for the sake of results, it's already a problem. Why? Because you're telling yourself that the result is not here. Spiritually speaking, from the point of view of the light or the energy force, the result that you all need in your life already here from the moment of creation. Already here. So when you say, okay, I'm going to do spiritual worship, I'm going to attract these results to my life, the conscience is already wrong. You have to tell yourself, I know that all the result I need is right here, right now. What I need to turn on the spiritual eyes. It's not just for the sake of attracting the result, it's for the sake to connect to what already been given to me as a result. A lot of us don't even know. Actually, the Kabbalist Baal Shem Tov said, Parnasato shel Adam, the sustenance of an individual, been given to him from the moment that he's born. The moment you're born, all the money that you're going to have, it's been written to you as you're born. That's why a lot of people in this world, you know, when they said, oh, I want just 2 or 3 kids, because it's a lot of money, especially in New York, to have 2 kids or 3 kids or whole calculation. They don't even know that every child comes loaded with money. Loaded with money. But because the person doesn't have that connection, the spiritual channel to connect to that, so it means that they're working so hard to connect to the money that already been given to them. So it's important to understand that the reason we're working hard for our prosperity, for our money, for our success, is technically because of the way we're doing the spiritual work. To the sake of, oh, I'm going to attract my soulmate, or I'm going to attract a new business, that has to stop. That has to stop. So what is the big miracle we want to connect, what we call in Channukah or after Channukah, to activate, is the real miracle, which is what? That you're actually doing spiritual work. That's the miracle. Not I'm doing it and I'm going to get the money, or I'm going to get the soulmate, or I'm going to get the health, right? Or I'm going to get protection. No, 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 no. These external things are just what we call triggers, or pulling you or instigate you to keep doing some work. So when you start spiritual path, or let's say you start joining the classes of Kabbalah, just do it for the sake of the study itself, not for the sake of like, oh, I'm going to do that, I'm going to shift my consciousness, I'm going to attract a lot of money, I'm going to attract a lot of people. That's secondary. You shouldn't be worried about it. You should just connect to the miracle that you had the sight or the knowledge to understand, wow, I want to come to the class. Wow, I want to study more. That is the miracle. And if you connect just to that, countless results wants to come. Just for the sake of the study. Okay, that's another thing that you would like to improve, to deepening in your connection to the study. Next, this week we learn that the Torah, the Bible, a lot of people think it's a very nice story or terrible story or an artifact or some kind of like a religious, document, or historical documents. I'm going to say it many times until it's going to get into the real consciousness. This is, the secrets of this world, the secrets of this universe are infused within the Torah. It has to be concealed within a story. So not everybody can come and grab whatever they want unless they earn, because a lot of stuff, how many times in life happened to all of us, when we heard something and, we're hearing things and we're not doing anything about it, right? Somebody tells you, hey, 20 years ago, buy Bitcoin, right? Buy Bitcoin. I don't need it. I don't know who needs it, right? And then eventually you realize it's a, $500,000, whatever they call it, right? Like outrageous number. You're like, oh my God, if I would listen, right? A lot of us like that spiritually exactly the same. If we hear what we meant to hear all these years, today, let's say, you would know that the changes that you've done or you needed to make 20 years ago, today it's like this, that Bitcoin grows. Like you would have like, oh my God, thank God I listened to that message. Most of us, why we cannot connect to the message directly unless it comes with quote unquote chaos, difficulty in life, and then I'm going to listen, right? Why do we need that? Why do we need chaos, difficulty, pain to learn a lesson? Most of us are not really sitting at home and like receiving a message and wow, great. It's usually after a tragedy or difficulty or challenge or trauma or any of that. Oh, yeah, I get it. I lost of someone and stuff, things like that. In this week, the Torah shared with us beautiful secrets. And now we are in the process where, I don't know if some of you know, some of you don't, but the story of Joseph and the brothers. Joseph and the brothers it's not a story of like some three, I don't know, 4,000 years ago story where some brothers sold a brother to a slavery and then he became the ruler of Egypt. It's good, there's movies like that. Movies are great. What we want to connect here, it's the story of us. The story of Joseph is the story of us. The story of the brothers is the story of us. We all selling our friends easily when their ego is too much, when they overpower us, we sell them immediately, right? We're going to speak bad about them. We're going to throw them out under the bus immediately. We're going to gossip. We're going to speak bad about them right away because we don't get what we want. Joseph is the story of us which represent our soul, our connection to our soul. In this week, a very beautiful interaction. There is a famine around the world. Egypt is populated with a lot of money and people and success because of Joseph, what he gave an advice to Pharaoh to save them the food for 7 years. So the entire world is coming to break the famine. Joseph is the ruler of all Egypt at that time. He is deciding who will receive, who will not, who will get, who will not gonna get. Comes, then he recognized that the brothers came because there was famine in Israel, and they came to break the famine, and then they see Joseph, and he recognized them, but they didn't recognize him. Now again, it's your brother. How can you not recognize your brother, right? But obviously, from a spiritual point of view, they were in completely different level. Let's understand what's going on in this interaction. He told them, go, I know you have another brother, go bring him. They took one into prison, so forth. Like a lot of drama going on. A lot of drama. And then he says, go bring me your younger brother, or again, go bring me your brother, your father. The brothers don't know what's going on. How is it possible that this king giving us such a hard time? And this week, the week started in the word Vayigash Elav Yehuda. Yehuda was his brother. And Vayigash Elav Yehuda. What does it mean? And Yehuda approaches or come closer to Joseph. And Yehuda did a certain action that none of the brothers did, that eventually Yosef broke down and says, okay, listen, I can't keep it up anymore. I want to tell you, I am your brother Joseph. In this week, he revealed that he is the brother. After all the drama that he caused them, he revealed to them, I am your brother Joseph. And then he brought everybody to Egypt. He brought the father. He gave them a lot of money, a lot of food, and success right away. They became very, very successful in Egypt. Okay? Now, let's get into that. Again, this is the one, like we call it the physical story, the appearance of the story, how it looks like. Let's understand what's going on here spiritually. What can we connect spiritually? Yehuda represents what we call the physical world. Joseph, represent the spiritual world. Okay? So we have the physical world connecting or meeting the spiritual world. This is this week. This week, we have an opportunity that our physical world, our physical life, will meet our spiritual life. What does it mean? There's got to be a prerequisite in order to activate what we call our spiritual forces. Each one of us have spiritual forces, spiritual energy. We spoke last week, sometimes, a person might do, let's say, I don't know, you see there's all beautiful food around them, okay? So you take that pretzel, right? That pretzel bag or that pretzel bag is the same pretzel, right? But if a negative person did that pretzel and a positive did that pretzel, anybody or everybody know that it's going to be a difference of energy within that item or food. Does that make sense to everybody? Meaning, when it's the person is negative, most of the time it will wear on or wear off, right? The energy, or what we call the longevity of that same item. It can be actually anything physically. Unless a person understands his spiritual energy and he's injecting it in everything he's doing. A lot of us don't think that when we're doing something or a project or we write something, it's not about the word that you write. It's the energy that you inserted into the letter. It's when you're doing a piece of art. Oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah, but you are in a state of a victim. What do you think? How far that gonna touch people's? Not a lot. It's gonna touch maybe a layer of the heart of people, not all. Right? Therefore, we all need to understand the physical will be there. It's robotic, it's systematic, it have its own life, it have its own way, right? How the physical world robotically works. What is needed? Us to insert our spiritual power in it. That's what we're getting here in this week. In this week, you get an activation of your spiritual power. How do I get that? This is the lesson that I want to connect. This is the one point that is important to awaken. In the word Vaigash, and he came closer, that's the word Vaigash. In Kabbalah, we learn that the words that sounds the same have the same energy. Or if you flip the letters into a different order, you can do that as long as you're not changing completely the letters, right? Or the word, right? But if you switch the letter, you can also rearrange the energy to work differently or to share. That's what the Kabbalist is doing it. So all the time when you hear me is doing it, you understand what it means. It's the same energy, you need to rearrange, right? In order to attract or to learn another bridge that's connected to it. The word Vaigash, right? If you switch the letter, you get Vaishag. Vaishag, you obviously there's the letter Aleph that is added that represents the light of the Creator, Alufo Shel Olam. You get the word Vaishag, and Yehuda roar like a lion. And you know Yehuda represented by the lion. I don't know if you know, is all the kingdom of Judah, right? And the kingdom of Judah, if you go to Jerusalem, there's always those lions. I don't know if you remember those lions. Some people, some other places using it, but it represents that world of what we call Malchut, which is the kingdom, which is this physical world. And Yehuda, like I said before, he represents this world, the physical world. And he comes to Yosef. And he didn't come to Yosef, to Joseph, and he says, oh, please, can you, why do you doing it to us? Why do you do that to us? Why are you giving us such a hard time? Please. He didn't come like a victim. He roared. He created an action that the king himself was shaking. Imagine who will dare to come to the king. If you work in a corporate world, corporate company, you will never dare to go to your CEO and say, if it's a real company, right? Like, you don't do that. There's like a million emails in the way. There's a begging. There's another way to get into the room. There's another, you have to report for so many, what do you call it? The HR need to. You don't go to the CEO, to the president of the company, like, I demand to speak to you. What is going on? How did you stop the supply for? No, you don't go here. That's what Yehuda did, actually. It takes, you know what I'm talking about. To do what he did. That is what we're looking for this week. Each one of us need to roar this week. Need to roar like crazy. When I'm saying roar, it can be in many different ways. But I'll share with you what it means. What is the beauty of this week? Yehuda, listen to this. These are people, are spiritual people. These are the children of Jacob, the most elevated people in the world back in the time, right? So we're not talking about regular people, us working for whatever a bank over here or some financial institute, you know. These are people who are connected to the highest soul. And they don't get what's going on. How is this guy, this king? What does he want from us? Why us? Out of millions of people coming to break the famine, you coming on us? You attacking us? So Yehuda was from the side looking around. It's like, what's going on here? That doesn't make any sense. Therefore, there's got to be a spiritual reason for what is going on here. So when Yehuda took the action in this week, it took an action that shaken completely the ground of every establishment of what Joseph wanted to do, what he did, what you create for the brothers, right? He came to the king and demand. Vayigash elav, when he approached him, again, it's not like send him a letter or maybe, no, it's almost like burst in, break down the doors, and like, I demand an answer. It makes no sense why you're doing it to us, right? A lot of us will get to a places like that when we're angry, when it's abusive already, when it's already like too much chaos, when it's overpower us. We cannot wait until situation in life will come and overpower us. We need to roar all the time. What does it mean in our life? I'll share with you. Again, it's a longer conversation, but it's a beautiful one. For most of us, when something doesn't go according to the plan, or something doesn't really work, or something was taken from you, or break down, or you know, something that you can't find something, or someone that you're looking for, right? Most of us, right, quickly say, oh, it's not happening. Okay, I'm out of here. I didn't find it. I'm done, right? Oh, you don't want to give me the position? Oh, okay. Oh, you don't want to give me the deal? Okay, you don't want, bye-bye. A lot of us cannot handle when somebody tells us no. We cannot handle when somebody is like, oh, you don't want to date me? You don't want to marry me? Bye-bye, I'm going. Right away, we like, run away. There's one way that people act, right? You call it the flight, right? Or a lot of us, when we don't get, or something broke down, or something was taken or stolen, or whatever it is, or you lost something, we're falling into emptiness and lack and stay very low. Okay, I don't want to do anything. I'm so discouraged. I'm so disappointed in life. People are bad. I don't want to see anybody. You are my best friend. I don't want anybody else. We cling into one thing and we go down and down. I've been even that person that we're holding on, like, listen, I can't go down with you that much, right? So a lot of us either go here, or I can't handle it. I have to run. I have to go. I'm done, right? When it's not really smooth and exact and has to be in the flow and has to be perfect, and it's not like that. It's like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm out. It's not exactly how I want. I'm out. Oh, you didn't put me sitting in the chair. I'm out. Oh, you didn't bring some. Well, I'm out. Oh, you did. No. Or when we're not having it, like going down, very. You see, up and down. There's not much that can stay in the middle. Or in other ways, we have to understand it's true. When something is not happening, or when something is lost, when something is gone, when something broke down, time to move on. Yes, we need to move on. Yes, keep going. And in the other hand, we have to feel the pain. You can't just like, oh, you want to break out with me? Okay, I'm gonna go away, jump into another relationship because I can't feel the pain. I can't be in pain. right? Or they fire you from the job. I can't feel the pain. I have to start a job right now, right? Or I can't be around people because it's so painful to be around people. You have, again, when something like that happens, you have to do these two. One is moving forward, but not before you feeling the pain. A lot of us, like for example, I shared earlier, when something in someone's body is wrong, let's say he's in pain, right? Anyone experienced any pain recently? What do we do right away? We're not sitting with the pain. We call the doctor. We go online. What do I take? Right away, or numb yourself, or whatever it is, right away. We don't even question. Headache, boom, 20 Advil. This toothache, whatever. All the pain, you have solution like a medicine cabinet, all of the big stuff to the small stuff to the. Anybody ever? It's funny, right? Everybody have a box of Band-Aids. Everyone have a box, and usually a huge box of Band-Aids. You ever use all of them? No, right? We have all these medicines, right? Have you ever used all of them? No, we just in case. Think about how we equipped ourselves to believe that we don't have a doctor inside of us. We don't have a complete medicine cabinet inside of us that anytime something is wrong, let the body fix itself. Why are you shoveling all stuff right away and stop the process of healing? But I can't feel, I can't be with the pain. Sit with the pain. And I'm telling you, it's so hard. Again, I'm always experimenting with all these lessons before I share them, right? And again, we know that every time there's pain, you have to ask for more. That's the only way the body can start healing. But what happens when somebody feels pain? It can be, by the way, not physical pain. It can be like a pain of, of a breakup, or pain of like I didn't get the job or the position, or a pain of like a job fell through, or whatever it is, a deal fell through, this, or somebody blame you or complain about you to the authority, blah, 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 right? Right? Sit with that. Don't escape. Don't run away. That's what this moment is about. So, again, most of us are not acting any closer to this. We either check out, run away, right? Or giving excuses or blaming somebody. That's why I failed, because of these people. That's why they complain, because I did that to them 20 years ago. That's why, because they are small people, miserable people. That's why. We're always falling into that righteousness about ourselves. This was happening with the brothers. They don't understand why that king giving them such a hard time. And they were in that state, either up or, okay, let's do what he has to do. Let's go get the brother. Or some of them are like, no, I don't understand. Only Yehuda, raw. What do you mean raw? In the way of like, oh my God, it can be. We have to understand that is what we need to do. So, each one of us need to achieve our certain role. What is it for you, raw in a situation? For some people, they need to start raw in their life in different way. I share a few ideas. For some people, is to ask or demand. They will never ask. They will always like, I don't want to ask. I don't want to, a lot of people, afraid to ask. So, for example, I said, I had a student still asked them, go ask go ask for a raise for your salary, right? No, I can't do that. Like sweating a million times about just asking for a raise. You're doing a great job. Ask for a raise. No, I can't do that. Okay, I'm going to ask my manager to maybe throw a work. No, you going to the office and demand for a raise. The crazy thing is, until I convinced them to do that, they went and before they even went there, the boss already came. By the way, I have to talk to you about raising your salary, right? That's the crazy part. The crazy part is that we don't even need to do the physical thing. We need some time when it's not real. But again, or sometimes for some people, a roar means not to ask. Not to ask. That person is constantly asking, needy. So that person need to, a real roar for them is like, wow, I'm so surprised they don't ask, you know? Interesting. Or having a backbone, right? Stand, still, right? Put a fence, put a what do we call it? Boundary. For some people is to create a boundary. I have to say no. That's a role. Wow, that was strong, right? When somebody that you never expect say no to you, no. What? You? Again, not because of who that person is, a friend or not. It's because they usually say yes. I don't understand, right? Or someone raw for them will be stand on what is right for you, not what's right for others only. All day long, like you're the doormat for everybody, right? Now I have to do it right by me. Bless you. Or some of us giving up so fast. A roar for you this week will be, I'm never giving up. Extend that energy, awaken. This is the spiritual energy that all of us have. If you awaken it, question in a minute if you have a question. Or even being humble, right? How many of us love being arrogant? Love it. In different circles, not in every circle, but in our circle around, let's say if your family, you feel great, you've been so arrogant about them, around them, right? Or a friend of yours is like, oh, now I can be arrogant, right? They're not going to judge me, right? We love that, right? A lot of times, like, okay, being humble. Humble yourself in this moment, right? That's creating a raw. Even though it doesn't have to be loud scream, like I said, don't visualize just a roar like a lion is raw. Lion, he's scary, even if he's just standing next to you, right? He doesn't need to do any voice. Does that make sense to you? That's the energy I want each one of us to activate this week. That's the energy that was inserted. Again, another thing is how difficult it is for us sometimes to let go on the attachments. That's a raw. That's real raw. When you do that, if you have that difficulty, some people are so loose about everything, they need to hold on, right? But a lot of people are grabbing, right? The attachments. So letting go, that's a big raw. Or for some people to give, but give beyond your imagination. When was the last time you gave in a way that you said, I never imagined that I would be able to give this way. I would never imagine I would give that way. Right? Like if you ask me, Benjamin, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, right? All of us have that story. I have that story. I never gave this way. Right? But that is a raw. That is a raw that you want to awaken. Or open up. Open up. This week, find a way to open up with somebody about something that you're holding on. That's a raw, right? Or wait, patiently wait. That's a huge raw. Wow, so patient. When all of us, how many of us are so impressed seeing in the TikTok like a cat that's waiting until, or when we see a dog is like so patient, right? We such a wow, it's amazing, right? Oh, when you see somebody waiting in line for a coffee, that's not amazing, right? So nice waiting in line for the theater to open, right? It's amazing, right? Because why? Being waiting or having patience is a great attribute that most of us don't know how to roll this way. Or how many of us actually were super happy and excited about a failure that we had? That's a huge role. That's a huge role. You don't understand. A lot of us hiding when we fail or defending. If I ask somebody, so the deal didn't work, yeah? You failed the deal. No. It was all kind of excuses. And there's nobody who says, yeah, I failed. You know how hard it is to get it from people? That's a very, very hard. Very hard. But when I see that, it's like, oh my God, that's after, a lot of people, like maybe the second or the third words is like, yeah, I know it's me, but no, all that, it's wrong. That's a lion. You understand? You think the lion walk around in the forest and say to everybody, I'm the king, you should be worried about me, no? Is the lion does it? No, it is present. He's not even talking. He's not even raw. He's present. That's the energy you want to have. Or even humiliate yourself. Have you ever done that before? Humiliate yourself? Like embarrass yourself. Don't humiliate. Embarrass yourself. When was the last time you embarrassed yourself? That's a huge rock. Huge. So there are many, many things that our energy can be awakened, can be tapped into something very powerful. But we go about this in the body consciousness, not in our soul consciousness, right? So maybe last thing is also forgiveness. It's sometimes, to give forgiveness to people. That's a huge role. Or to even forgive for somebody that actually did something purposely, right? There's somebody I'm still working on forgiveness to them. It's not easy, I'm telling you. Like I need to extend a lot. Yeah, I'm supposed to be forgiven to everybody. No, you're the teacher, you study Kabbalah, you're teaching for all these years, but you can. Some situations are difficult. Okay, so it doesn't matter who you are. At some point, there is a certain layer of a roar that needs to be activated. And that situation, until I come to that situation to activate real forgiveness, that will be real forgiveness. That is when you're going to roar in a deeper way. So these situations that I share meant to awaken you or creating a spring jump, a way jump to a reality that we in any other time will take forever to get there. What happened when Judah came to Joseph in that row? Vayishag elav Yehuda. This is again, the word is vayigash. You switch the letter vayishag, right? And you roar to yourself. He says, "Velo yachal yoter, lo yachal yitapek." And Yosef couldn't hold himself. Now, what do you mean, Yosef? In our story, in our world today, Joseph represents the voice of your spiritual energy. And therefore, as soon as you have that raw, that energy cannot stop itself. It will burst through all the holes. Your eyes will shine light. Everyone that will hear you will hear the truth. But that's what you want. But it's not because you shovel it to people or convincing. You know when you're trying to sell something to someone, you know that when you're trying to sell, everybody recognize when you're trying to sell something. Let's say there was an event that you went to and it wasn't so good, but you want to say that you did something, so you sell it, right? Or something that you've done, it is like not that bad, and then you sell it like, or any product that you have. We're always injecting some fake things, just to add, just to make it like expensive in a way. You shouldn't do that. I mean, you can, but if you have the true raw, Vayishag elav Yehuda, and Yehuda was raw, you don't need to say anything. Velo yachal yitapek, the light of the Creator will not stop. I want to reveal. Where can I be revealed for you? Just tell me. That is the energy of this week. And last, most important, this is in Kabbalah, there are many basics that are basic rules, right? That you, again, it's not about you can't violate, but if you don't know those rules, any other rule that you put on a reality that is not of these rules, it's very weak. Do you understand? So there is the foundational, the Kabbalistic foundation is based on that particular lesson from this week. And on top of that, you can build stronger and stronger mechanisms, okay? But what is this lesson that we want to activate this week? It's the simplest one and the deepest one. In this week, we said that there's the word uvnei dan chushim. It says the children, I don't know if you know the word 12 tribes. One of the tribe called tribe of Dan, right? No coincidental, we are in Dan's house, right? It's coincident. So what is that secret? Listen to this. A klal, there's a rule that you cannot, again, you can, but this rule is unbreakable. You can change that rule, you can bypass that rule, and so. שמה שנמצא בחושים מתראה כך בשכל. What does it mean? Whatever your senses experiencing, that's how your mind will experience that. Okay? Continue. שזה סוד ובני דן חושים. That is the secrets of the children of Dan, the tribe of Dan. חושים, what are חושים? חושים meaning the senses. Hush is sense. Okay? How many senses do we have? Don't say we have 5. Okay? 5 physically. So listen to what the Kabbalist says, Rav Asher. שהשכל אינו דן, our mind, our brain doesn't judge anything. אלא לפי מה שהחושים נותנים לו לעיין ולהמציא איזה המצאות ותחבולות שיתאימו לתביעותיהם. This is amazing. I wish the entire world will hear that sentence. Just to hear that sentence. We're going to change the world. Just with this line. What is he saying? That the mind doesn't judge. Only according to how the senses allowing the mind to experience this world. And according to that, to whatever my senses allowing me to come up with solution or exact whatever fit in that reality, according to what my senses. So for example, let's say if I tell you guys, look around here, can we build a car from whatever happening here on this table? Can we build a car? A toy car? Can we build a toy? Not the real car. Can we build a car over here? From what we see on the table, right? I got it. I can build a car. You see? You take those, what you call those cookies? Oreos. These are the wheels, right? These are the axles. These are, right? Now, if I have that mind, I know my mind didn't come up with that. My senses looking at that, and I am very mechanic in a way, right? So I know. But if I ask anybody who has no clue in mechanics, it will take you probably, 5 hours to come up with like, what? I don't understand what he's talking about, right? But that doesn't mean I'm better than you. But let's say if I tell you there's an art on this table, I have no idea on art. But some artists over here will tell me, yeah, it's amazing art I can create from this, right? Whatever my senses allowing me, that is what my mind, my brain will find solution for. Now listen to this, it's a very important idea. כלומר, it means, כל מה שהחושים תובעים, all what the senses telling you, השכל משתדל להמציא להם מבוקשם. So the mind is really making a lot of effort to find a solution. For example, do you need a job? Right? Your sense is telling you, I need a job. I don't have a job, right? So what is your mind does? Find a solution. Call that person, call this, put an ad, put a this, or maybe you should start a business. The mind starts to come with solution based on what? On my senses. The mind doesn't wake up in the morning and says, I need to find a new job. No, because your senses says, what are you talking about? If I'm going to work today. What do you mean? Or let's say in relationship. Let's say you don't have relationship or intimate relationship, right? or soulmate connection. Your senses telling the mind what? I need to be in relationship, yes or no? That's my senses. My mind, find a solution. Call this, think about that, go to this party, go to that Shabbat, go to this, ask this, right? Go online. Or the mind coming up with solution based on what my senses telling them. Everybody's clear about that, how it works? אולם, השכל לפי עצמו, אין לו שום צורך עבור עצמו. The mind, the brain, doesn't need to do anything for himself. Only what the senses telling it. What does it bring us? What does it give us? לכן, אם נמצא בחושים תביעות של השפעה, אז השכל עובד לפי קווי ההשפעה ואינו שואל שאלות, היות שהוא רק משמש את החושים. It's an unbelievable idea. It's the simplest idea, but the most deep, deep idea. So if my senses will tell my mind, I want to influence this world. I want to be an influencer. The mind will find a way for you to be an influencer in this world. Anything that your senses will tell the mind will work after hours to find the solution, bring you the exact way of making it happen. Now, that is very important idea. Why? Because our mind is unlimited. Our brain is just a muscle. The muscle that works as long as you let him work. Why don't we read a book every empty moment that we have? Why don't we listen to a Kabbalah class every moment we have? Why don't we listen to other classes every moment, every empty moment? I'm listening, right? I used to do it many, many, many years. I couldn't have any empty second, right? I'm still doing it in a different way, but I am. But in a way, if you insert to your mind, you tell your mind what I want you to think about. So what my senses, I let my mind connect to wisdom. Connect to wisdom. And then tell me, find me a way to decipher this lesson. A lot of us looking at life, and we see emptiness, and our mind starts struggling, finding a way to fill up the emptiness when we're looking at our eyes. Remember, your mind is unlimited. Our senses is very limited. So what ends up happening, our mind is a prisoner of our senses. Our mind is a slave to our senses. So therefore, your senses can only give you 1% of the reality, cannot give you more than that. So it seems like all your mind, obviously what Einstein says, that the mind working, that the most genius one working on 6-7% they spoke about, right? Now we understand why. Because it's operated by the senses, and the senses can only give 1% of the reality. So no wonder our mind coming up with solutions that are very lame and very, very much historical. Where is the future? That is what we want to awaken. First, we want, again, this is something that you have to roll like that this week. I want to give a different boss to my mind. I'm going to give my mind to operate by a different boss. And the boss from now on will be my soul. Unlimited force, unlimited energy, unlimited resources. Can you imagine? Unlimited resources, unlimited doctoring and professoring inside of us. Where do you think that medicine came out? From the outside? No. For me, by the way, it's something that we should really be seeing a lot. The only reason you can see the reality in your eyes is because it's been projected from your eyes outside. That reality is not happening outside. It's happening here. Think about it. When you go to the movie theater, where is the movie being shown? On the screen, right? But when the movie come from the screen, from the projector, we are that eyes is a channel for all the reality. So when you open your eyes, you projected that reality. It's not being done and now you're looking at like, wow, what a nice apartment. Oh, wow, what a nice. No, that's already here. Before you came here, that was already inside of you. You understand? That's a little bit above some of our mind, but you have to remember, we are the projector to that type of reality. Anyway, I'll leave you with that for this week, but it's super important to start roaring, each one of us in our own way, and sending you love, and please share this wisdom, with as many people as you can. Thank you.